Hello friends, and welcome back to this week's installment of the Teachable Tuesday series. I'm your host Victoria, and today we are going to talk about the family and society. This is going to be part one of a two-part series on the family and society, and we'll be diving into the different relationships between the two, how families are called to live in this world, but also to not be of the world, and how society is called on to uphold the dignity of marriage and the dignity of family in the public realm. So the first question is, what is the relationship of the family to society? Well, lucky for you, I have my catechism here, and we're going to read what the church has to say about that question. So in paragraph 2207, it says, "The family is the original cell of social life. It is the natural society in which husband and wife are called to give themselves in love and in the gift of life. Authority, stability, and a life of relationships within the family constitute the foundations for freedom, security, and fraternity within society. The family is the community in which, from childhood, one can learn moral values, begin to honor God, and make good use of freedom. Family life is an initiation into life in society." So when the Catechism says that the family is the original life of the cell, that is all to say that without family life, without a stable family unit in society, we wouldn't have society to begin with. As a matter of fact, if we didn't have human life, we wouldn't have a society in the first place. That is why it is so important for society to uphold the values of marriage and the values of family life. Otherwise, they would be trampled on. It is important for society to take care of the family, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the second video, what that looks like and what we should expect from society as members of the family. So this next point that I want to hit is how families should live in a society. And again, the Catechism has a lot of beautiful truths relating to this. And in the next paragraph, 2208, it says that the family should live in such a way that its members learn to take care and take responsibility for the young, the old, the sick, the handicapped, and the poor. There are many families who, at times, are incapable of providing this help. It devolves then on other persons, other families, and in a subsidiary way, society to provide for their needs. You know, this reminds me of something that's written in the scriptures that calls us on to love our neighbors as ourselves. If we found ourselves in a position of need, maybe our family needs something, we would want people to come and help us as well. In that same way, we are called to love our neighbors as ourselves, and if we see someone in need, someone who's poor, someone who's vulnerable, going through a hard time, it is our duty and our responsibility as families and as members of society to reach out and to provide whatever help we can for them. In the Old Testament, there's a story of the infamous brothers Cain and Abel, and how Cain ends up killing his brother Abel. And when the Lord tries to speak to him about it, Cain responds that "I am not my brother's keeper." But we know that this is not the case. Actually, as members of society, we are our brother's keeper, and it's our duty and our right to take care of those who are in need. And so just as it is our individual duties to look out for one another, it's also the duty of society to look out for each one of us. In the next paragraph, 2209, the Catechism says that the family must be helped and defended by appropriate social measures. Where families cannot fulfill their responsibilities, other social bodies have the duty of helping them and of supporting the institution of the family. And like I said, in the next video, we'll look at the more specific ways that society is called on to live this out. So I'd like to challenge us with the following question. How can we live in such a way that we are our brother's keeper? How can we start living that out today in the world and even in our own homes? With that, I have a new challenge for this week for each and every one of us. I don't challenge you guys without challenging myself first, so what I'm promising to do for this week is to do something kind and loving every single day for my family in my own home. There's an old saying that goes, Christian charity begins at home. So in order for us to go out into the world and to be able to be those brothers keepers for everyone else in the world, we first have to start it at home. We first have to start being our brothers keepers with those whom we live with and loving them right where they're at. So I challenge you to do something kind every single day for your family, whether that's putting the dishes away without being asked, whether that's maybe not talking back to your parents if you really feel inclined to do so, just being present to them. Maybe put your phone away in the evening so that you can just spend some family time with them. Whatever ways that looks like for you to show your love for your family. Alright guys, that's all the time we have for this week, but I will see you next week for the next installment of the Teachable Tuesday series. Bye guys!